Hey, Lost fans, it's Lacey J. Welcome to the beginning of the end. For the back half of Lost in My 40s, the weekly pre-shows are out, and the season pre-show, mid-show, and post-show is in. Join us on YouTube right now as we get excited for Season 4, answer some email, and welcome some special guests on the Season 4 pre-season pre-show. See you there. Hey there, it's Lacey J, here to ask you to go to spacebearmedia.com right now to access all our content, buy yourself some merch, and most importantly, send us a message, a question, fan mail, even hate mail. We'll respond on YouTube. Also, please remember to rate and review the podcast on your favorite app or share it with someone you know who loves Lost. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Lost in My 40s, Season 4, Episode 1. I'm so excited. How's everybody? Welcome back.
Awesome.
Great.
Doing great.
Yep. Season 4.
I can't even believe it.
We're, like, this far in it.
This is fucking crazy. And what's blowing my mind even more is that, like, it's July and Season 4 is so short that we are going to be finished with it by mid-October. Like, it's fucking crazy. All right. So, welcome back to my dear co-host. Welcome back to the listeners. It is Season 4. I have a few little announcements before we dive into Episode 1 with Derek and Hurley.
What are those?
Well, I want to talk a little bit about our listeners who we love so much. And after 3 seasons of this podcast, I am pretty happy, actually, that nearly half of our listeners are international. And
That's
that,
awesome.
Wow.
I know. That makes me like super excited because not only does it like show the reach of the show and how Lost took over the planet when it was on, but also super cool to find ourselves in like far reaches of the planet. So I do have the top 10 countries and the percentages of like their listening. I did round them all to the nearest quarter, and it's important to understand they are not going to add up to 100% because roughly 11% of our listeners use some sort of like VPN or something like that to block where they're coming from. And I can only see the actual like download. So obviously our number one country is the United States with 54% of our listenership, I guess is the right word. Right behind them, the United Kingdom with 7%. And then we've got India at 6.5, Italy at 5.5, Romania, I don't know how that happened, but I love it, at 4.75. Our awesome neighbors to the north, we've got 4% of our listens coming from Canada. Ukraine is number 7 with 2%. Mexico is number 8, also with 2%. One was rounded slightly up and one slightly down. And the same happens with 9 and 10. In the 9th place with 1.25% is France. And in 10th, it's Aussie, oi, oi, oi. Our friends from down under with also 1.25%. So I'm like super excited about all of that. And the fact that we have listeners in Australia just kind of like blows my mind. And they're not in the top 10, but I have seen, we do have a few downloads here and there in New Zealand, which like makes my heart go pitter patter because that's where hobbits come from.
Aww. She still doesn't understand that hobbits are not real. I have to.
Shut up.
They aren't?
I think it's
I've been looking for
it's
forever.
I think this is full-blown psychosis now. I used to think it was kind of cute, but now I'm starting to really worry.
Okay, whatever.
Well, we lost
all
the
right.
Hobbit last season.
I don't want
That's
to
true.
talk about Charlie. Oh, God, I'm going to cry
But
in
we
this
are gonna
fucking
talk
episode.
about Charlie.
Oh, fuck yeah, they get you again. they
Yeah,
get you.
I cried.
Oh, fuck yeah. They don't let up. Like, you're devastated for the entire time between seasons 3 and 4, and then they just start punching you over Charlie again. to start the season, but we'll get there. All right. We still have some more announcements. Listen, we have some power ranking news, big fucking news. But before that, Ben, remind us, please, who won and lost in season 3. But remember, we have agreed to your new desired format that we are going to announce our power rankings from bottom up and then up down. I don't know. It's confusing because some are
third to
top
first.
And
Just third to first.
Thanks. Hey, thanks. Hey, thank you. From third to first. And so if any of you listeners would like to email us right away to let me know how many times you think we might fuck that up during season 4, if you get it right, I will send you a coffee mug. Ben, start us up. Remind us. Who finished on the top and the bottom in season 3, please?
All right. First place. Already screwed up. Didn't see that one coming. At the top, third place from the top, we have Juliet with 117. She had a strong showing in season 3.
Indeed.
The mayor of Island Town, second place with 122. And all folks, Sawyer took the top spot with 128 points.
That was surprising.
All folks, that's quite the character arc. He's, coming in top of season 3. I really, I know the story. I know his character, and I was thinking that he was going to be higher in the rankings in like seasons 4 and 5. I did not expect him to run away with season 3, but I love it. I think it's great. And I'm also very proud of Hurley, who did not make it, didn't get on the board in season 1. Took third place in season 2, took second place in season 3, and if you listen to our bonus episode, you would know this. You can go back to the season 3 bonus for all kinds of fun facts, but here's one I'll share with you. In our aggregate scores, Hurley is also the number 1 top character from seasons 1 to 3. So
slow and steady wins the race.
Hurley. Yep. All right, and then who did we hate?
Well, the bottom of the barrel, again, would be no surprise. We've got Mr. Anthony Cooper or Tom Sawyer, whatever the hell his name is, negative 59 points. We have Poop Stick Paolo Poop Stick, whatever his name is, with negative 80, and Dead Pants Danny with negative 90.
Oh, Danny. All right. Listen, here's the big news. Are you guys ready? Finally.
Yes.
Ready.
I convinced Ben to update the power rankings spreadsheet. Does this mean that I can have orgies now? No, it doesn't. But what it does mean is that anyone who is a guest on our podcast going forward will now have their character rankings counted toward our power ranking totals. Plus, I will be retroactively adding all rankings from Dave, Ado, and Caleb from seasons 1, 2, and 3 to the overall aggregate scores. And you'll see that update at the end of this season and going forward. None of their point changes change any of the winners. There was nothing that drastic, but they will add on to that aggregate score. So I'm not going to ruin the surprise of when and where you'll see him this season, but I will tell you that when we told Dave that his rankings would count, his exact response was, I'm going full sabotage on my next appearance. So look forward to that. We are ready for Dave and his sabotage. Okay. One final thing before we dive into the beginning of the end. We did talk about this on a pre-show when it happened, but since this is the episode where we first meet Matthew Abaddon, we're going to talk about it again. On March 17th of this year, Lance Reddick passed away at the age of 60. It is an incredible loss for the acting community. Reddick was originally wanted for the role of Mr. Echo, but had to pass because he was filming what some say is quite possibly his best role in the best television show ever made, The Wire. So J.J. Abrams brought him in to play Matthew Abaddon when he was available, and then brought him back later for another show when he played Philip Broyles on Fringe, another fun J.J. Abrams romp. He was from Baltimore, like Christy. So he was one of the few people on the wire without a goofy attempt at a Balmer accent. Lance Reddick.
To be fair, they actually brought a lot of actors from Baltimore on that show.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, they did. They did. But
and some just regular police, not necessarily actors.
Yeah, exactly. So Lance Reddick had 112 credits on IMDb. He was a hell of a working actor and an incredible one at that. And check it out. 7 of those 112 credits are things that will be released posthumously. He was working that much that he has that much in post-production on IMDb. One of those, which is out now, granted, we recorded this several weeks ago, so something else could have been released, I suppose, but John Wick 4, which we haven't seen yet, but I am fucking psyched for it. New work for Reddick, it looks like, will be available for the next few years. So we just wanted to give a shout out. It was really sad news for all of us. And, you will be missed, Lance Reddick. Okay? Anybody else want to say anything about that?
I think you said IMBD. I don't know.
IMDb?
I'm going to go back and
domination.
That's a different site.
On
NSFW.
Whatever it was supposed to be is what I said. I'm going to gaslight you into believing that.
Got it.
Okay, Derek, are you fucking ready for this? Shall you take us?
I am fucking ready.
Shall you take us into season 4, episode 1, the beginning of the end? We start with Hurley this season, not Jack. Derek, let's do it.
Okay, so we start with a flash forward in this episode. Flash forward number 1. And the episode opens with what looks like a giant pile of mangoes piled up in front of the ocean. The pile then explodes as a car drives through it. The ocean backdrop is on the side of a truck, and now it can be seen that we're actually in the city. The car drives erratically as police cars are in hot pursuit.
We're in LA. I think you can see the skyline of LA. Yeah.
I don't know the skyline of LA. I'm not sure I could look at a city and be like, that's definitely LA, like the skyline. I know LA is like overhead.
It's
shots,
not really known for its like
Yeah,
skyscrapers like New York City.
No,
Yeah.
but it does have that one really tall sort of cylindrical building that's like
And that's
like
the
the one that
recognizable
everyone
part?
was partying on top of what was that?
Independence Day?
Independence Day that they blew
Is that
up.
the Capitol Records building, or
Maybe.
that's something different?
I'm not sure.
I think
Could
it
be.
might have been.
Really?
Ah.
That makes
Independence
sense.
Day. Wow.
All right.
Okay,
wow.
so
off
in a
track
house-
already.
First paragraph off track. So in a house, a man turns on the television, which has live coverage of the high-speed chase. The man pours himself a drink and watches the news.
Now,
The
I've got a
anchors-
problem with the way this drink was poured. Now, am I backwards? Am I backwards in saying that when you pour a drink, you typically are going to pour your booze
Liquor
in
first.
and then
Yes.
you pour
Yeah.
you know.
And it was
Yeah.
pretty much like a splash. That it
Yeah,
seemed like
he
put on there.
like filled it up with orange juice, then put like a splash of vodka. I was like, "What are you, fucking
Yeah.
Quaker? Come on, make a drink.
Oh my God.
Come on.
Make a drink."
I didn't even notice that.
I did too. I was like, well, you don't put the liquor on.
I didn't see that.
top?
That's
Yeah.
that's like how I make mimosas, but like reverse, where it's like a glass of champagne, and then when I put a splash of orange juice in it, that's what makes it a breakfast food.
Yeah, that's how
Yeah,
I
yeah.
make them.
Yeah, duh.
Use your vitamin C.
Exactly.
So the anchor says, almost 30 minutes now since the start of this high-speed chase. We still have no information about who's driving this vehicle. Jeff, can you tell us where the chase started? Jeff tells everyone the pursuit began around La Brea, and then it traveled to the warehouse district south of the freeway. We can now see that the man watching the television is Jack. So that's definitely not his drink. It'd be the other way around.
Yeah, you could tell it's Jack because Jack has huge hands.
Yeah. He's got a huge
He
dick
really-
too. In my imagination, he definitely
probably,
does.
probably.
Yep.
His,
So-
name should probably be Matthew Horse, but you know,
Oh my God.
it's Fox instead.
Okay.
Oh my God,
So-
you're a horse.
Oh, first Family Guy reference of season 4 has made it in already. So, Derek, the thing about it is like, the Jack that we're meeting in this flash forward is like right after they get back from the island, right? So he's not completely fucked up. So I think what they're showing is like that's the progression, you know, at this moment.
I figured that because thank God he didn't have that beard.
at this moment, right? It's like, oh, okay, he's just having a slight drink or whatever. But then the flash forward from the end of season 3, you know, he's all kinds of fucked up. So I guess this is the beginning of it. Whatever.
So Jeff continues reporting that it appears that to be just the driver of the car, which is a vintage early 70s model Camaro. Jack says, damn it. The car is now surrounded by police vehicles and veers off the road, crashing. The police cars stop and officers get out to surround the Camaro, guns drawn. The cops tell the driver to pull down the window and show his hands. The driver complies and follows the next instructions to use their left hand to open the door. Now, today, they'd be shooting him up already. But
yeah, seriously. Like, they let him get out and turn around slowly. And I love how they do it.
No, he's white. So.
Oh, well, he's not. He's Hispanic. He's Hispanic. He's Jorge.
Yeah.
He appears with lighter skin. So
okay.
I don't think it's light enough for them, though.
Yeah.
They want Aryan white.
Oh God. I also love how in this scene, like they have Hurley turning around like slowly, like who could it be? As if like that huge mop of hair could be anyone else.
Yeah, exactly. Plus you see his hands when he puts his hands out. It's like, okay, you definitely know that the guy is bigger, you know, just from that hand. It's Hurley. Yeah.
So the police are yelling for the driver to get out of the car and then turn around slowly. As he does, we can see that it's Hurley. They tell him to get on the ground, but instead he tries to run. Cops catch him and pin him against the wall. Hurley screams, "Stop it. Don't you know who I am? Stop. Wait. Don't you know who I am? I'm one of the Oceanic Six. I'm one of the Oceanic Six."
The what?
Wow.
What? Derek, did you ever hear that?
The rocker.
Did you ever hear Oceanic Six back in the day when you might have come across advertising? It was a pretty big thing at the time. Yeah.
Nope.
I think, for like the whole season, I'm not even sure if they did. It might have been leading up to season 4 too, but it's certainly like the ads were always like, who are the Oceanic Six? It was a big deal. It's a big deal now too, actually, for you, Derek.
Right.
Obviously.
So we get the lost title screen and we begin season 4.
Woo!
So we're back to the same flash forward, and Hurley can be seen sitting in a police interview room with a CCTV video showing him in a convenience store. The detective we've seen before says, "So, 5 minutes before you led 10 cruisers on a chase across the city, you're minding your own business in a convenience store until you see something and freak out, Mr. Reyes. Why'd you run like that? Who did you see in there? Listen, buddy, I know you saw somebody in that store and it made you run away in a..." Before he can finish the sentence, Hurley interrupts to say he wasn't running. The detective says he doesn't care that Hurley's a celebrity. Hurley claims that he's not, so the detective asks if that's why Hurley was screaming, "I'm one of the Oceanic Six."
Fair question.
Yeah.
"I'm not a celebrity, but I'm a celebrity." The man then goes to tell Hurley that he knew someone on flight 815. When he asked Hurley if he ever met Anna Lucia.
And this is, of course, Abraham from The Walking Dead.
Yes. Abraham.
Yep. God, his death was so brutal.
That's a fucked up scene. That's a fucked up scene. Well, now, geez. Now I'm a little sad.
Rick.
You're all a bunch of pussies. Great scene. Then the show after that went downhill.
Carl!
Yes, it did.
Carl! Walt! So Hurley lies and tells him no. The detective says he's going to get a donut.
Why is he lying?
And offers Hurley one.
Why is he lying? Why is he lying about knowing Anna Lucia, Derek? Why is he lying?
Yeah, that is kind of interesting.
Yeah. Oh, it's just, yeah.
So the cop goes, gets a donut, and offers Hurley one. Hurley declines, so the detective tells him to watch the store tape while he's gone so it might spark his memory about who he was running from. So the detective leaves the room, and Hurley watches the video of him in the store. There's a moment when Hurley suddenly jumps in fear and rushes out of the place in sheer panic. He looks at the mirror in the interview room, which appears as though now he is underwater. A hooded man swims to the window and touches the glass, which immediately smashes.
That's a really cool scene. Like, it's really like eerie.
Yeah.
Yeah, alone in that room. And As water splashes his feet and pours into the room quickly, Hurley runs to the door screaming, "Help, help, help." The detective runs back into the room. Hurley looks again, and of course the water is gone, and the mirror is just a mirror. The detective asks Hurley if he's trying to get thrown in the nut house because that's what he wants. He can make it happen. And Hurley throws his arm around and says, "You can? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you."
This was at the same time like really, really funny, but also really kind of sad, you know?
Oh God, yeah. Yes. I know that feeling where I'm like, yeah, I'm crazy and you need to lock me up. Please get me help. That is, yeah, definitely sad, but also just kind of hilarious the look on Abraham's face. It's like, wait, what? That's not the reaction I expected.
Suck my nuts. Okay, so it's still day 91 on the island, so we're finally back on the island, and Hurley is at the original beach. It's just moments after season 3 ended, and Hurley radios Jack. "Jack, you there, dude? Beach to Jack. Come in, Jack."
I want you to point out how light their conversation is at this point. Like everything is just, everyone feels like lighter than air. It always portends something really, really dark to come.
Yeah, we can't let them be too happy for too long.
Yeah,
No,
of course.
Exactly.
Got 3 seasons left.
No,
so, yeah.
that's crazy talk.
At the tower, Jack grabs his walking answers. He tells Hurley they made it to the tower and spoke to the freighter. Well, actually, the people on the freighter, but yeah.
Yeah.
Ben can be seen looking distraught. Jack says they're on their way back to the beach now, and Hurley better pack his bags before winking at Ben. Yeah, you're right. Everybody's lighter than air right now.
Yep.
Hurley's elated and heads over to tell the rest of those on the beach. Kate approaches Jack to tell him there is no sign of Locke. It's like he disappeared.
And have you noticed, I think this may be the first time that you see like Kate, I think she finally ran out of clean tops.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's like, all of a sudden, she's just grubby as shit.
Is she looking a little dirty?
At least her top is grubby looking.
Yeah. She wonders in her grubby top why Locke would kill Naomi while they stand over her body. Jack says that if Locke comes back, he's going to kill him. Kate asks, "Are we really going home?" And Jack replies, "Yes, we're really going home." Jack leaves and walks past Claire and Son, who are changing Aaron. Rose is also there. Son is excited that she's going to have her baby in a hospital, and Claire goes, "Oh, rub it in, why don't you?" Before telling Rose her husband is now a hero. Rose says that Charlie's man is the real hero.
Once again, running Bernard down. Bernard down.
God.
Yeah, seriously. What you meant was Claire's man, not Charlie's man.
That's what I meant.
Charlie is the man.
Charlie is his own man.
Uh-huh.
So Rose says that Claire's man is the real hero.
And here come the tears. Here come the tears.
If you hadn't turned off the gizmo, they'd still be getting a busy signal on the phone. She says, "You better make sure you treat him real good when we get back."
Oh, that's rich coming from Rose.
Yeah, seriously.
God.
What?
Yeah, because she treats her man great.
Right,
oh, boy.
Exactly.
They all laugh together. Meanwhile, Ben is tied to a tree with Danielle next to him. They're watching Alex and Carl chatting and laughing. And Ben says, "I need you to do me a favor. I need you to take Alex and get as far from here as possible. Everyone who stays here is going to die. Now get Alex and get away right now. I don't care where you go. Just go. I'll not have my daughter." But before he can finish, Danielle punches him in the face, says, "She's not your daughter."
Bam.
That was such a great hit.
Yeah.
I love
Danielle for the win.
Not his daughter.
Fuck yeah.
I'm sure Christy loved that scene.
I did.
Okay. All right. Are we starting in on the Ben Linus hate this early, Christy? Is that what you're going to do?
I didn't say anything.
Okay.
No.
All right. No. Okay.
So back at the original beach, Juliet is digging graves while Sawyer has a beer.
It's quite the arrangement.
Yeah. Sawyer's got it figured out. He's got it figured out. Whatever he's doing, he's living his best life. He's just
apparently
sitting there chugging a beer,
drinking skunk beer.
Woman is digging a grave.
I opened a beer that had been in the back of my refrigerator for probably like 2.5 years, and it was horrible.
What in
and that
the
was
fuck?
in a refrigerator.
What?
And
Not
he's
in the
drinking a
jungle.
beer that's been out in the tropical jungle for what, 20 years?
Yeah, it's probably really nasty.
30.
horrible.
I don't know
30 years,
how does
probably?
a beer last does a beer last in your fridge for that long? I just
Yeah,
if
how
there's
did
beer
you-
in my
yeah.
fridge, I just drink it till it's gone.
Were you
We
like,
don't drink much at home.
Yeah.
were you doing an
I
experiment
think I
or
bought
something?
it like when we were locked down.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So Hurley and Bernard are looking at the ocean, and Hurley says, "Did I ever tell you I won the lottery? I had like $150 million. Worst thing that ever happened to me." Bernard jokes about not needing $150 million, and Hurley thinks that when he gets back, all the money will be gone because they think he's dead. He says, "I'm going to be free." There's a moment of silence when Hurley adds, "I want to do a cannonball. I've
I
been
love
walking
it.
up down this beach every day and looking out at this water. And I want to do a cannonball." Bernard smiles and says, "Hurley, you want to do a cannonball? Cannonball."
Yeah, boy.
Hurley takes off running and laughing. He throws himself into the water and makes a cannonball on the way down.
This scene is ridiculous, by the way. When he takes off running, the look on his face.
It's
he's
great.
He's so happy.
It's perfect.
It's so cheesy, but also very heartwarming.
It's the highest
By the
high
red, I think the
moment.
actor had been wanting to
Yeah.
do this the whole series, like
Yeah.
in reality.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's also the highest of the high moments before they fucking gut punch you over Charlie again. So
Yes, exactly.
Yep. So as he rises to the surface, still smiling, he sees
Like a
everyone on the
cheese ball.
beach helping Desmond pull the canoe to shore. Hurley heads over to meet them, and Desmond looks desperate, and Saeed wonders if he's okay. Desmond says, "We need to get Jack. We can't let him get in touch with that boat." What?
Oh boy.
Oops, a little too late there, buddy.
Yeah.
Sawyer chimes in, "Easy, Scotty. Everything's good. Everything's cool. Boat's on the way."
Oh, damn.
Damn it. Desmond doesn't like that news. Hurley approaches and asks where Charlie is. Oof.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Desmond ignores him and tells everyone that Naomi lied and the people on the boat are not who they say they are. Juliet is shocked. Sawyer wants to know who they are. Hurley says, "Desmond, where's Charlie?" Desmond ignores him again and says they need to get Jack. Juliet says they can call on the walkie. Desmond wants to know where it is.
And this
Bernard-
whole time, the strings are building in the background, getting
Oh, yeah.
louder and louder and louder.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's cool.
It's an amazing scene.
Yeah, yeah.
Bernard asks what he means by they aren't who they say they are. Hurley screams, "Where's Charlie?"
And right there, the strings cut out and it's just like silence.
Silence. Yeah.
Silence.
They stop and look at Desmond. Desmond, distraught, pauses before looking at Hurley and saying, I'm sorry, brother." Everyone then realizes Charlie is gone and they stare at each other in despair.
And
there's- Must have been pollen in my living room or something.
Oh,
at
yeah.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah.
teary there.
that. Yeah. And it doesn't get better.
No. The
No.
Hurley Claire embrace is like that's rough. That's rough.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
So at the radio tower, which they're still in bliss, a phone rings. An excited Kate says, "That's all right." Jack answers the phone and it's George Minkowski, who says the freighter's having trouble locking in on their signal because of some interference. He wants to rejigger the phone. I think that's a technical term.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and wants Naomi to do it. Jack lies and says she's collecting firewood. He tries to stall, but then turns to see Kate looking towards where Naomi's body should be. She's gone, and Ben is just staring at him.
Oh
Look
my
on his
god.
face.
That's amazing.
Oh, Ben, this is so great.
Love it. Jack hangs up on Minkowski and asks Ben where Naomi is. Ben, with a grin on his face, says, "I don't know."
Yeah, I don't know.
It's one of several great Ben moments. He's not in this a
Yes.
whole lot, but where he is,
Yeah.
he's punching above his weight big time.
And
it.
honestly, that's
Right,
that's
Christy?
right, Christy. That's how I feel about like the beginning of the season. You know, the first few episodes. Even he just kind of like pops in and out to wreck shit and be awesome, like
Yeah.
awesomely bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna fight with
Original
Christy. We're
Beach
gonna
is-
fight with Christy a lot this season.
We're gonna, yep.
Well, see, in this case, I don't understand why he let Naomi get away. Why didn't he say anything to anybody? Because he's the one saying
It's true.
Naomi's people
Yeah.
Yeah.
are dangerous, but he let Naomi leave. So,
Yeah.
that
So
was
I
the
think-
stupid
Maybe just the
nuance.
fuck
I
shit up.
agree. It's a bit of a plot hole.
Yeah, but she had a knife in her back, and I think maybe Ben was betting on the chance that her crawling away was going to cause more like chaos, and then she was going to die anyway, which is essentially what happens. And so I'm guessing that was his bet. I mean, that knife was pretty far in her back. How the fuck she even crawled and then gets into a tree? Like, she gets into a tree later on? Like,
we'll get into that later. Yeah.
I don't know how any of that, like, happens. But if I was Ben, I think that's the bet I would take. Yeah. Anyway.
So, original Beach is reeling from Desmond's news. Sawyer wants to call the doc. Saeed thinks it won't accomplish anything, but Juliet thinks it'll mean they could warn then. Saeed says it also means warning the people on the freighter that we're suspicious of them. I have no doubt they're monitoring our communications if we call Jack. Before he can finish, Sawyer points out that he's holding the walkie, clicks it, and says, "Hey." Hurley grabs the walkie from his hand and says, "We better get going." Sawyer shouts at him, "Going where?"
Oh, yeah. He actually throws it in the ocean.
And throw it in the ocean.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. I forgot to put that in that outline for some reason. He does throw it in the ocean. Hurley is like, he's not fucking around, man. Charlie told him that is not Penny's boat, and that is where his confidence lies. I don't blame him, honestly. Yeah.
At the radio tower, fresh from a run to the torch farm, Jack is passing torches out to everyone. All at 91 days and still no cobbler.
Yeah.
Danielle shows up to say she found blood and thinks Naomi crawled away and can't be more than 10 minutes ahead of them. Jack motions towards Ben and says they're taking him with them. Danielle questions this, so Jack says he doesn't trust Ben with anyone but him. Then he walks over to a group and says, "All right, listen up. I need all of you to head back down to the beach. When these people show up, we want to make sure we're real easy for them to find, okay?" Claire thinks that Jack looks worried, but he tells her the only thing he's worried about is missing their ride home. Kate runs up to say she found Naomi's trail and is headed west across the island. Jack says Danielle already found the trail and they're going that way. Kate wants to follow both trails in case one is a decoy, and Jack says, "Kate, 6 hours from now, we're going to be sitting on that boat laughing about the facts that the one final thing we couldn't agree upon. Naomi's hurt. She ran in the jungle. She's not."
No, he won't. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying no. No, Jack, you won't.
No.
No, you won't be sitting on a boat in 6 hours. She's not thinking about leaving fake trails. Kate agrees, and Jack asks her to take everyone back to the beach where he finds Naomi. Finds Naomi. She hugs him. Ben is watching the exchange. Kate tells Jack to be careful before they head separate ways.
I like the acting here. Ben watching them, one with this sort of like watchful contempt, is awesome. But if you look at Kate's face right before they hug, you see something on her face that I didn't really notice it the first time I watched it. But then after, later on seeing what happened, she actually plays that scene really, really well.
Yeah.
There's a look. There's a look of like regret and shame on her face before they hug.
She got the I'm going to do whatever I want look on her face like she always does. And actually, I'm quite surprised that Jack didn't realize that the fact that Kate immediately agreed to what he wanted meant that she was just going to do whatever the fuck she wanted anyways.
Right.
I don't know how he didn't figure that out, but yeah, whatever.
So back at the original beach, the group heads inland from the shore. As they get ready to find the tower group, Sawyer wonders what's gotten into Hurley. Hurley tells him, "You don't wait with warnings, dude. You warn."
Truth.
Fair point. Yeah.
The group divides up the guns, and Sawyer says, "And here I was thinking I was going to get a good night's sleep." Sorry, Sawyer.
Nope.
So now we're in flash forward number 2. Hurley sits in a mental hospital playing Connect 4 with a fellow patient. The nurse comes up to give Hurley his meds. He swallows them quickly, and the nurse then says Hurley has a visitor. When he looks, Hurley sees a man with a visitor badge sitting at another table. Hurley walks over, and a man introduces himself as Matthew Abaddon.
If you are in a show and then all of a sudden Lance Reddick shows up and he's just looking at you like that, shit's about to get weird.
Something's going down. You're either like getting arrested or pulled into another universe or whatever it is he's doing now, which I will not reveal to Derek.
The man has a very, very, very imposing countenance.
Oh, God, yeah.
So he's obviously in this series a lot more than...
He is around more than just this episode.
We will see
that is correct.
We will see.
That is correct.
Right now, he's an attorney for Oceanic Airlines.
Oh, is he?
And Mr. Abaddon's, yes. He says Oceanic heard about Hurley's episode and they wanted to give him an upgrade in hospital accommodations. How nice. He offers him his own bathroom and a view of the ocean. Hurley replies, I don't want to see the ocean, and declines the offer. Mr. Abaddon pushes and Hurley asks to see a business card. Abaddon claims he left them at home. Yeah, that always happens.
Uh-huh.
Hurley says, then we're done, dude, and gets up from the table. Abaddon says, are they still alive?
What?
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 Huh? A shocked Hurley says, what? And Abaddon replies, you heard me. Hurley flips his lid and starts screaming for help. Abaddon leaves and Hurley is still screaming, that guy's after me. The nurses run over to calm Hurley down and the door closes and Abaddon is gone.
What?
I like that scene. Fuck. It was like, it was sort of a normal conversation. And then right when Abaddon starts pushing, what he actually says is, are you fine, Mr. Reyes? And the way that he says it is like spine tingling. It's like, whoa, something really creepy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like the rest of that conversation is really menacing.
Yeah.
So in the jungle, Hurley and the rest are trekking towards the tower group. Sawyer wants to know if Hurley is all right. He asks if he wants to talk about Charlie. Hurley walks ahead and says, we'll probably get to Jack faster if we don't talk.
Oh,
Damn.
I mean,
Sawyer
I feel
tried.
bad. Yeah, Hurley's shutting down, which is sad. But gosh,
Because you
Sawyer
can't walk
actually
and talk at the same time.
Well, Sawyer actually tried to comfort him all by himself. He didn't have to be tricked
I know,
into
I was
it.
surprised.
There you go. The winner of season 3 coming through.
Yeah,
in
but
episode
after
1.
3 seasons of basically getting beat down and run down by Sawyer, he's probably just kind of like, okay, fine. Oh, you're going to be nice right now. How about we just continue with how you were and you shut up?
That's valid.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Sawyer shuts up and says he's going to run up ahead. Hurley says he can keep up, and Sawyer replies, all right, S.A. The rest of the group moves on ahead of Hurley, and he loses sight of them. He is quickly moving through the jungle, looking for everyone, yelling, guys, guys, guys. He sure got lost pretty fast.
Yeah, right, in 30 seconds.
Yeah. He's frantically searching when the camera moves so that we can see Hurley is standing in front of Jacob's cabin.
What?
Whispers can be heard while he's staring at it. A light turns on in the window, and Hurley says, uh-oh.
He's been on this island long enough to know, this isn't good.
Shit's about to get crazy.
Yeah, this isn't going to be a good thing, probably.
Oh, my goodness. Why would Jacob appear to Hurley, Derek?
I know. So meanwhile, Jack is following Naomi's trail with Danielle and Ben. She tells Jack that the blood trail has ended and Naomi has fooled him by doubling back.
Did you see the amount of blood on that one leaf?
Yeah.
They go up to, there's a big palm leaf or something like that. It's completely drenched in blood. If you were losing that much blood,
she would have died a long time ago.
You'd be dead so long ago.
Yep.
That's why I'm saying Ben didn't think it was a problem because he's like, it's going to be hilarious for me. And then she's just going to crawl off and die anyways. So fuck it.
So Ben says Jack better call the boat to tell him Naomi is getting a really big bundle of firewood. Even Christy laughed. Yes.
I mean, for real.
His delivery is so deadpan too.
Oh,
yes.
so good.
Really
he's
big
so
bundle of firewood.
Oh, he's just fantastic. Yeah. And the writers, I mean, Michael Emerson reading the script must have been pleased. This is great. I'm good. This is going to be fucking great because he's just so perfect at it. And the lines that the writers give him are just like chef's kiss.
So Jack moves his hand to grab the phone and only then realizes it's missing. Ben says, I probably should have told you that I saw her take the phone, but you beat me up, Jack. I owed you one.
It's great.
Jack is confused, so Ben clarifies, Kate took it when she hugged you. Jack's face says he realizes how easily she duped him. Oops. Ben then taunts Jack by pointing out that Kate was right about the trail, but Jack wouldn't listen. He says, look on the bright side. At least somebody around here knows what the hell they're doing.
Oh,
Jack.
To Jack.
You just got Linus'd.
Yep.
Damn.
I mean, seriously, like, this is pretty bold when you're tied up and being held prisoner. And Jack had already beat the fucking bejesus out of him once.
The thing
good
is,
for you,
it's
Ben.
tied up or whatever. It's like he's never at a disadvantage, really. He may
Right.
appear to be. It's like Sun Tzu, appear weak, or where weak appear strong, where strong appear weak. That's sort of the way he rolls.
Yep.
Yeah.
Indeed.
He
But I
just
mean, that was
makes the
how we
best
met
of
him.
whatever situation he's in.
Yeah.
That is true. But that's how we met him, right? As Henry Gale, where he was playing this sort of like victim that's being held, kidnapped by these crazy people on an island. And of course, the whole time he was just masterminding. Yeah. He's pretty fucking great.
So, without a word, Jack and Danielle turn around and head back the way they came. Jack is holding the rope that's tying Ben's hands together, and he yanks it to force him to follow. So, Kate is now following the real blood trail when the phone rings. She answers and tells Minkowski that Jack is not with her and that they're all looking for Naomi. When Minkowski says, "What do you mean you're looking for her?" Kate hangs up.
Yeah, that was stupid of her.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Just then, blood drips onto her arm. She looks up to see Naomi dive down onto her with a knife, which she
Bullshit.
then holds to Kate's throat.
Bullshit. That's because that's what happens when you if you shoot an animal, it goes uphill and then it tries to climb a fucking tree. Like no way
To
Come
ambush
on.
you. Mhm.
Yeah, seriously.
I just don't believe that she would have the strength to do that, but whatever.
Exactly,
Considering that she
Yeah, 'cause,
dies in
she's
like
probably been laying there bleeding for a while.
she dies in like 90
Yeah.
seconds. So like I mean, I guess she could have been up in the tree for 10 minutes or so. I don't know, but yeah.
She used all her energy to get into the tree.
Yeah, and then she gets
okay,
on the
maybe
phone
that.
and she's like aggressively bleeds out right then. It's so funny.
She's a warg. She changed into a mountain cat to climb the tree, and then changed back into her human form.
Oh, there we go.
Wow.
jump
There we
out.
go.
Okay.
That's it.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, that's the ticket.
Yep.
So she is demanding the phone, and Kate is trying to get Naomi to let her help her. Naomi says, "Help me? I just spent the last 3 days trying to get you people rescued, and you throw this knife in my back." Kate explains that it wasn't them, it was John Locke who said that Naomi isn't who she claims to be. When the phone rings again, Kate begs her to still help them and then hands the phone over. Naomi answers, calling Minkowski George and telling him she's been hurt. She lies and tells him that her current injury came from a tree branch that impaled her. And Minkowski has her change the frequency on the phone, and he says he's picking her up clear now. He tells her they'll get back to the freighter ASAP, and Naomi says, "I'm sorry, George. Just tell my sister that I love her," and then drops dead.
There you go.
There you go.
Bye, Naomi. It was nice to meet you.
At the cabin, Hurley is slowly approaching, and he sees a light on. "Hello?" he calls out before peering through the window. He sees a dog painting on a wall and Christian fucking Shepherd in a rocking chair.
Does that, so I
Just not die.
I couldn't tell it was him. Am I the only one that was not able to
I had to go back a few times because it was and pause it because it's
So the silhouette-
really quick.
Okay,
Yeah,
I never
I-
paused it.
Yeah,
I had
you
to
can
take some time to look at it a couple times.
Yeah.
You can see the silhouette, the profile that is Christian Shepherd if you watch it quickly enough. But also some of the hints when the camera pans from the floor up to that silhouette of his head, it shows the white sneakers that we know that he had on when he was walking around the island, and then also the same suit that he had on in the casket. So that those are some other clues that it is Christian Shepherd.
Got it.
Yeah.
So another man walks up to the window, and all you see is his eye.
Uh-huh.
Hurley runs screaming, "Help, help, help." Hurley
I mean, I
turns
think I
around
would
and
too.
somehow the
It's
house
kind of
is...
startling, right? Because like Hurley's got his eyes peering through the window, and then the other person's just there suddenly in his face. That'd send me running too.
Who is that other person?
I don't know. You tell me.
Hmm. I don't know. I guess I'll find out. So Hurley turns around and somehow the house is right behind him again. What the fuck? That'd be going help as well. Fucking house
Yeah,
following me.
seriously.
The door
This is
creaks
following
open.
me.
The door creaks open and Hurley squeezes his eyes shut. He says, "There's nothing here. There's nothing here. There's nothing here." When he opens his eyes, the cabin has vanished. Hurley falls backward and lands on his back. He screams and then looks up to see John Locke standing over him. Locke says, "Hello, Hugo."
Uh-oh.
I mean, I would scream if I
you
saw
saw
John
John
Locke
Locke?
pop up,
Pop out of
lock in a
nowhere.
box.
Yep. So Hurley and Locke are now sitting together in the jungle, and Locke says, "You got yourself good and lost out here, Hugo. How did you get separated from the group?" Hurley says he fell behind and he got scared, and that's why he was shouting for help. Locke questions if what Desmond said about not Penny's boat being written on Charlie's hand was correct, and Hurley says they never should have called the freighter, and Locke couldn't agree more.
Ooh.
Of course he couldn't.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
Like we're having two separate camps forming here. Yeah, so like we've had separate camps before the original beach. There was a little bit with the caves versus the beach thing, and then of course there were the backenders and the others, but we've never really had like a rift sort of down the middle, like separating the originals yet until now, and this is like the genesis of that.
Right.
Yeah.
So Hurley thinks it'll be hard to talk everyone into believing that the freighter is not there to rescue them. Locke says, "Well, we're just going to have to try our best, Hugo, because if we can't talk him out of it, then Charlie died for nothing."
Oof, Jesus.
Or maybe Charlie was just a sacrifice that the island demanded.
That's right.
That's quite
Booth.
possible.
I don't want to think about that.
Yeah. Sawyer, Juliet, and the rest of the group are at the front section of the plane wreckage when Hurley arrives with Locke following. Side wants to know why Locke is there, so he says, "I just came here for the same reason you did, to warn Jack about the people on that boat. I already gave it a shot, but I figured I might have better luck with some support." Saeed says if Locke wants to support, he better explain why he blew up the submarine. Before Locke can answer, voices can be heard. They raise their guns and then just realize it's the Tower Group.
Oh, God. Oh,
Sun runs to
fuck.
Jin. Rose hugs Bernard and calls him Rambo. Claire looks for Charlie. Juliet hugs Alex. Desmond moves towards Claire when Hurley stops him and says, "I'll tell her."
Oh, fuck.
Oh my God.
And she's all happy and smiling. And
Ugh.
Hurley walks towards Claire. He begins to cry and says, "He's dead. Charlie's dead." Claire whispers no. They embrace and cry together as the rest of the group watches.
God.
You can even see
Fucking
even Locke gets a little choked up
damn
there.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, what
Yeah.
a
Yeah, that
fucking
was a rough
scene.
scene.
Christy's crying right
But
now.
once Mayor of Islandtown stepping up again, like that's one of the hardest things to do is go tell somebody's dead, and he's just like, "I'm gonna go do it."
Yep.
I think that it was absolutely appropriate for Hurley to be the one
Yep.
to tell Claire, because
Yeah.
they are the two people on the island who were closest to Charlie.
Absolutely.
And
Yep.
Desmond is still kind of a newcomer to their group,
Right.
so
And he
it
comes
was,
and goes.
yeah, so it was absolutely the right thing for Hurley to step up and be the one to tell her.
Yeah.
He said it as gently as he could. It was a really, really hard scene to watch, and I watch each episode at least twice.
Yeah.
And I cry every single time I watch
Yeah.
this scene. I just teared up a little bit just having Derek talk about it. So
Yeah. It's a hell of a scene.
Yeah.
And, Hurley does the right thing here, too, the way that he approaches her and just says, he's dead, Charlie's dead. They teach people like law enforcement or people in the military that often have to deliver news like that to not use euphemisms. Doctors too. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Don't use euphemisms like, "Oh, they're gone," or "they've passed," or
They
things
expired.
like that. Yeah, because when you do that, like the trauma response of hearing that news, it's like it helps to foster denial in the person, and so you're trained to use the word "dead" because there's no denying that word,
Right.
and that it actually.
She's
although
gone. Yeah, she'll be back.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So it's like it can seem harsh to to use that word in that moment, but it's actually the best thing to do for someone like mental health who's receiving that information. As shocking as it is to hear such a thing. Anyways, now that we're all crying.
So now that we're all at the
In
pit of
tears.
despair, yeah.
Yeah, the pit of despair.
Flash forward number 3. Yeah. Hurley is sitting outside on the grounds of a fancy mental hospital. He's drawing into it in an igloo when a patient approaches to tell him that a man is watching him. When the patient points, Hurley gaze moves over to see Charlie standing by a car.
What?
Yeah.
Well, Hurley's in the right place, I guess.
I see
Hurley
dead
looks
people.
Hurley looks terrified, and Charlie says, "Hey, man, don't run. Hurley, just sit down. I want to talk to you. Come on, don't do what you did in the store, okay? There's no need to freak out."
There's not?
Let's remember, this isn't the first time. This isn't the first time Hurley has seen somebody that's not there. So
yeah, he saw Dave on the island, right?
He saw Dave. Yeah, exactly.
Hurley disagrees, saying that he was just trying to buy some jerky and slushy, and suddenly Charlie was by the ho-hos. Charlie wants to sit down and chat, but Hurley refuses on account of Charlie being dead. Charlie removes his sunglasses.
No, sorry, I can't talk to you. You're dead.
Yeah. It was a nice scene after that previous scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So Charlie removes his sunglasses to look Hurley in the eye. He says, "I am dead, but I'm also here." When Hurley asks him to prove it, Charlie slaps him across the face.
This also is
fantastic.
reminiscent of the episode with Dave, because he said the same thing. "You're not here," and Dave slapped him across the face.
Yep.
That's right. And was it on the island that happened? Or was that in the flashback when he was trying to tell
It was
him
in the
like
flashback.
when he didn't want to like get the lasagna or
Actually-
something? I can't remember exactly.
Actually, maybe he did it when he was on the island, because I remember he threw
think it was on
something
the
at him.
island.
He threw a coconut at him, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did do that. Yeah. But you're right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of parallels between these episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, which makes you immediately calls into question. You want to believe it's Charlie, right? You want to believe it is actually Charlie there, but was Dave actually there? So
I don't know.
that kind of builds that
Were
sort
any of those people actually there?
Right.
Exactly,
Was Yemi
yeah.
there? Was Christian Shepherd there?
Yemi,
was
yeah.
Ben's mom there? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I do know. I do.
Was
So
Bruce
they
Willis
sit-
there.
So they sit, and Hurley wants to know if Charlie knew he was going to die when he went down to the looking glass. Charlie nods in confirmation. Hurley wonders why Charlie didn't tell him, and Charlie says, "Because you would have tried to stop me, and since I was going to do it anyway, I thought I would spare you all the drama. And now you have to do something, but you're hiding from it. That's the real reason you ran when you saw me in the store. You knew I was here to tell you." What?
Uh-oh.
Hurley covers his ear and squints, trying to make Charlie disappear. Charlie calls him a baby. Hurley says he's going to close his eyes and count to 5 to make Charlie go away. Charlie protests, "I'm here." 1, Charlie continues, "Don't do this." 2, Charlie implores, "They need you." 3,
What?
again, Charlie says, "They need you, Hugo."
What?
4, "You know they need you." 5, Hurley then opens his eyes and Charlie is gone.
What
They need you.
the fuck? So,
Wow.
so we know Hurley is lying about something. Abaddon wants to know if they're alive. Charlie says they need you. What's going on here, Dirk?
Exactly. And then last season, Jack goes, "We have to go back." So, yeah. What's going on?
Yeah. Why would you go back?
Hmm.
What's there? What's
Yeah.
going on?
You were so happy to leave.
And what's the Oceanic Six? Who's
I
the
know.
Oceanic
Who? Yeah.
Who are the Oceanic Six?
Yeah, who? Back to the same moment.
Oh my God,
A lot of
that's
questions
amazing.
in this episode.
It
here,
is,
buddy.
yeah.
So back to the same moment, and Hurley's still hugging Claire while they're crying. Claire
Ugh.
asks how it happened, and Hurley says Charlie was trying to help them. Everyone is standing silently when Jack, Danielle, and Ben arrive. Locke turns to face Jack, who punches him in the face. Locke goes for his gun, but Jack grabs it and cocks it. Locke says that Jack isn't going to shoot him any more than he was going to shoot Jack. Wrong, buddy. Jack pulls the trigger, but nothing
Holy
happens.
fuck. Oh my God.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap, he was going to kill him.
Yeah.
It really
Hello.
was. Even Locke looks shocked and says, "It's not loaded."
Oh my God.
Holy
Yeah.
shit,
He was like,
yeah.
holy fuck.
Yeah.
He just tried to kill me.
Yeah, he didn't
Yeah.
even check. He just pulled the trigger.
No.
That's a potent moment right there.
Yep.
Yep. Jack had
Jack.
enough of Locke's bullshit.
Yep.
Is it bullshit?
I don't think so,
We will
but
see.
from Jack's perspective.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Jack. He wants to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
So here we go. Jack launches himself at Locke, ready to give him a bin-sized beatdown, but Sawyer and Saeed pull him away. Jack is screaming, "Do you know what he did?" Locke replies, "All I did, all I've ever done, has been in the best interest of all of us."
Oh, okay.
Jack says Locke is insane, and Locke says he has a lot of explaining to do, but tries to win points by saying that he was the one who outed Juliet as a spy. Juliet lets him know, I'm sorry. Jack lets him know that Juliet has actually been helping them, and Jack says that all Locke has ever done was ruin any chances of getting off this island. Kate shows up to tell everyone that Naomi is now dead, but before it happened, she covered for them, and now everything is all right.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
Kate hands the phone to Jack and says the freighter's on its way, and Locke says she didn't cover for anyone. She wants her people to come here, and trust me, when they do, we had better be far away from here. I'm going to the barracks. The others abandoned them. It's the only place on the island with any form of security right now. It'll have to do until I can think of something else. Until then, if you want to live, you need to come with me. Well.
Whoa.
I kept thinking, come with me if you want to live.
Yes,
It's a very Terminator moment.
I'll be back.
That's great.
Jack again says Locke is nuts, but Hurley chimes in. He's not crazy. What about Charlie? Charlie went down to that place so we could all be rescued, and whatever he did down there, it worked. But then something must have happened. He must have heard something before I don't know why, but he changed his mind.
I'm with Hurley.
Which makes a lot of fucking sense, right?
I'm with
there.
Hurley. If somebody takes the time to give you a message when they are 4 seconds away from drowning, you need to take that seriously. I feel like that's someone you trust, obviously, like Charlie, and Hurley does Charlie. So I'm totally on his fucking side.
And then there's a quick flash of Charlie drowning and Desmond seeing not Penny's boat.
And
so
the tears flowed again.
Yep.
More tears.
So
Hurley
my God. So Hurley continues, because the last thing he did was warn us that the people on that boat are not who they said they were. So I'm not listening to you. I'm listening to my friend. I'm listening to Charlie.
Yes.
And Hurley goes to stand next to Locke. So here we go.
Yep.
Split is beginning.
It's
but then
wild.
asks if anyone else wants to join. Claire and a few other people go stand with Locke. Ben asks permission to join that team as well.
he even says, Jack, with your permission, I'd like to go with Locke. It's like, oh my God.
Greatness.
Oh my God.
And Jack grants him permission.
Uh-huh.
Danielle, Alex, and Coral also join Locke. Bernard tells Rose that if she wants to join the team staying on the island, he'll stay with her, but she needs to give him his balls back. No, she refuses to go with Locke.
Now, I don't understand that one. Why would Rose not go with Locke?
She's like, I'm not going anywhere with him. Sense. But I thought if you go home, you're going to die. So what are you doing?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm not going anywhere with that man, I think is what she said. So that shows her profound distaste for Locke, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, but wait, where do her and Bernard end up going? Because Jack and Kate end up alone.
Well, they stay. What do you mean?
I thought they stayed with Jack's
probably go
group.
down to the beach, maybe. Or...
Yeah, I think they stayed with Jack's group. But I don't know.
Because there was a few. There's a group
they kind of just
them.
disappear. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why it's Oceanic 6 and not 2.
They all end up. The scene where you're thinking of, Christy, when they're alone, is they've all made it to the part of the wreckage, the like front of the plane or whatever part of the plane, and that's when Jack and Kate are standing there together alone in the wreckage, but the rest of the group is just there somewhere. I think that's what you're thinking of. Yeah.
I thought that everybody except Jack and Kate went with Locke.
No.
Okay. My bad.
So when Sawyer walks over, Kate is shocked, but he tells her that he's just doing what he's always done, surviving.
Mm-hmm.
It starts to rain, and everyone is standing there looking somber. Locke says, well, you know where to find us when you change your mind. And Locke then leads Team Island away, leaving Team Rescue to wait for the freighter.
It's sad. It's like your family's breaking up.
Yeah. Your family breaks up, and then the rain starts. It's very... We're headed
it's
for
not
some
your
dark
fault.
times.
Mommy and Daddy just don't love each other like that anymore.
Yeah.
Wait, which one's Mommy, Jack or Locke? It has to be Locke, because Jack is definitely a daddy.
Yeah. So we go to flash forward number 4. Hurley is in the mental hospital shooting hoops in the gym. Jack enters to ask.
I got to ask here. Is it required that you wear a bathrobe wherever you are, whatever the fuck you are doing? Like you're shooting hoops, so you're not wearing a bathrobe. Come on.
Well, they did that in the other episode too. He and Dave were in their bathrobes, and I think I complained about it at the time. Right, when I talked about I've actually been in a mental hospital, and you don't just wear a bathrobe all the time. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I mean, this is just like,
you're
crazy.
bathrobe.
I don't either. No.
Bunch of savages. Jeez.
Oh
Just
my
walk
God.
around naked, I guess. I don't know. Get out of the bathroom. I mean, do you have like a pipe and
Yes, I do
Windmilling.
actually.
a windmill?
If I had a penis, I would definitely swing it around like a windmill all the time because that sounds fun.
All right.
Okay.
Jack enters to ask if he ever misses. They smile at each other, and Jack says he was there for a consult and wonders if Hurley would like to play a game of horse because he's hung like one.
Exactly.
They talk about Jack being back to practicing medicine. Hurley makes a shot. Jack misses. Jack sucks at basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sucks at a lot of things.
Yeah, his jump shot is not very
No.
polished.
I mean, Hurley, he's
He's
good.
wearing wingtips, you
Yeah.
know.
Mm.
Yeah, but Hurley's wearing a bathrobe.
True.
You'd think that would be the handicap.
They talk about reporters bothering them and having to sign autographs. Hurley shoots and scores again. Jack says he's thinking of growing a beard.
Don't.
Ugh.
No.
Terrible idea, Jack. Don't do it.
Oh my God.
And then shoots and misses. Hurley says Jack would look weird with a beard. Yes, Hurley. Yes. And wants to know why he's actually there, or why he's really there. Jack says he was just checking to make sure Hurley was okay. Hurley replies, checking to see if I was nuts, if I was going to tell. Going to tell?
Yeah.
Tell what?
I don't know. I do.
Jack
I know.
says, are you?
Oh,
Are
boy.
you? Hurley tells Jack it's his turn, but Jack says he has to leave. Hurley says, I'm sorry. I went with Locke. I should have stayed with you. Whoa.
Wow. So now we see regret
tells him it's-
twice, right? Jack regrets leaving
Yeah.
the island.
Mhm.
Hurley regrets going with Locke, but we have no fucking idea why.
Jack tells him it's water under the bridge, and Hurley says, I don't think we did the right thing, Jack. I think it wants us to come back, and it's
What?
going to do everything it can.
What?
But before Hurley can finish his sentence, Jack screams, we're never going back. And then as Jack leaves, Hurley says, never say never, dude.
Oh
Yep.
boy.
Wow. Holy shit. Which is opposite because I guess the more forward flash forward, Jack was like, we have to go back.
Exactly. Right. And
It's
Kate-
breaking
and
everyone
it's-
down at different rates.
And
Yep.
it's Kate who says to him, "We're never going back."
Right.
So it's
yeah.
it's a repeat of that that dialogue. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So back on the island, Jack and Kate are looking at the wreckage of the plane. Kate wonders if Jack is thinking about Charlie. He says, feels like 100 years ago we came out here together. How did this happen? Well, plane crashed. That's how.
Yeah.
Before,
Duh.
I mean, before Kate can answer, a rumbling can be heard. She thinks it's thunder, but Jack knows it's something else. As light is shone down on them, they can see it's coming from a helicopter. Rescue! But someone jumps from it and parachutes down to the island. They run to where the person will land. The person gets up from the ground, turns, pulls off their helmet, and stares at them. He asks, are you Jack? Kate and Jack look at each other with concern and then back to the bearded man who jumped onto the island. Lost title screen, end of episode.
Oh my God.
What
Wow. Wow.
Strong
What
opener.
a start.
Strong
What
opener.
Yes, it
a
was.
start. Oh my goodness. All right. Before we talk more about the season opener, would you like some fun facts?
Let's do it.
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. First fun facts of the season in honor of Hurley and his Camaro. Today's fun facts are going back in time to Los Angeles, California on June 17th, 1994. It's 3 p.m. and one of the most watched moments in United States history is about to begin.
Oh my
Orenthal
God.
Oh, Lord,
James
yeah.
Simpson was nearly 4 hours late to surrender to the police for questioning in the murder of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her boyfriend, Ronald Goldman. At 3 p.m., the LA County District Attorney, Gil Garcetti, holds a news conference to say, today, my office filed murder charges against O.J. Simpson for the deaths of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Lyle Goldman. As of this time, approximately 3 p.m., nobody knows where he is. people across the country started tuning in as national news carried the story. By 5 p.m., longtime OJ friend, attorney, and father to the most famous ass in history, Robert Kardashian Sr., appeared on television to read what appeared to be OJ's suicide note. It began by denying he killed Nicole, and the rumors about their abusive relationship. He said goodbye to friends, family, and former teammates before finishing the letter with this. I think of my life and feel I've done most of the right things, so why do I end up like this? I can't go on. No matter what the outcome, people will look and point. I can't take that. I can't subject my children to that. This way, they can move on and go on with their lives. Please, if I've done anything worthwhile in my life, let my kids live in peace from you, the press. I've had a good life. I'm proud of how I lived. My mama taught me to undo others. Excuse me. I treated people the way I wanted to be treated. I've always tried to be up and helpful. So why is this happening? I'm sorry for the Goldman family. I know how much it hurts. Nicole and I had a good life together. All this press talk about a rocky relationship was no more than what every long-term relation experiences. All her friends will confirm that I've been totally loving and understanding of what she's been going through. At times I have felt like a battered husband or boyfriend, but I loved her. Make that clear to everyone. And I would take whatever it took to make it work. Don't feel sorry for me. I've had a great life, great friends.
I don't.
Please think of the real OJ and not this lost person. Thanks for making my life special. I hope I helped yours. Peace and love, OJ. The news then exploded. And at 5:51 p.m., O.J. Simpson himself called 911. He told the operator that he had a gun to his head, and he said, I'm just going to leave. I want to go with Nicole. That's all I want to do. That's all I've been trying to do. The police traced his call to a location on the I-5 freeway in Santa Ana. Cops and news helicopters arrive. And then the 2-hour car chase began. 95
I remember that.
95 million Americans turned in to watch. Pizza chains reported record orders while driving the Bronco. Al Cowlings called 911 to say he's alive, but he has a gun to his head. He just wants to see his mother. Let me get him to his house. As Al Cowlings tried to get OJ home, there was gridlock on an overpass as people desperately tried to glimpse the white Bronco. And when they exit the 405 freeway at Sunset Boulevard, the crowds were waiting. At 7:57 p.m., the Bronco arrives at OJ's Brentwood home. Police surround the car to negotiate his exit, and just 500 yards away, a large crowd is cheering in support of OJ Simpson. Finally, at 8:47 p.m., Simpson surrenders and leaves the scene in a police car, ending one of the wildest events in United States television history.
What a joke that was.
Probably like the most watched broadcast of anything ever.
And it was a boring chase. It was so slow.
Yeah. But I mean, it was
if
just
the gloves
like,
don't fit, you must acquit.
It was the nobody could believe what the fuck was happening. That moment. And then I remember, do you guys remember where you were when they read the verdict?
Yep.
After his trial?
I was at my parents' house. I was still living there when they read the verdict.
I was in.
My dad said he was going to be found not guilty.
Yeah, I was in school, and our entire high school just stopped, and everybody got to TVs, and the whole school watched it live. I think it was like junior year. Was that 90,
Judge
95?
Ito with all of his hourglasses.
Yeah. All right, those are our fun.
Now
facts
we have Kardashians
for this week.
because of that.
It's it's wild, that connection, isn't it?
All OJ's fault.
All right, here we go. Let's start with some best and worst moments in season 4. How about Ben? What did you think of the beginning of the end?
I mean, there were several great moments. I'd say my favorite moment was probably when Jack tries to kill Locke and pulls the trigger, and then Locke goes, "It's not loaded." Like, that was pretty amazing.
Yeah. All right.
I'd also say like Ben's various kind of smarmy jabs that he threw in throughout the show. I liked those moments a lot. Worst moments, fairly easy, when Claire finds out that Charlie is dead. And then also the fact that Naomi, low on blood, climbs a fucking tree to surprise Kate. That was just ridiculous.
Well, the island wounds are different on the island,
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess that's
exactly.
true.
Exactly.
but she
For-
still died, so that's not true.
Yeah, well, I guess the island needed her sacrifice. And my best moments, I think overall was just like the entire conversation between Hurley and Charlie, if that was Charlie or not. Especially when Charlie says, "I am hearing you're being a baby." I kind of loved that.
My
and then-
baby.
Worst moments, obviously, reliving the death of Charlie. But I also have that the camp splits. And our parents got a divorce, and that's sad. Yeah, Christy, what about you?
My best moment was a very simple moment of pure joy when Hurley did his cannonball.
Yes, it's so good. The
It was,
Look
smile,
on his
like-
face.
the smile that he has, like
Yeah.
underwater, that cheesy grin. It's so good. Yep.
Yep.
It was pure joy. It was free. It was just really beautiful, especially knowing that that's like the last moment of happiness he was going to have for a little while.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for me, my worst moment was also Hurley telling Claire that Charlie is dead. It was just a really heartbreaking scene.
Yeah. And kudos to Jorge Garcia because it was beautiful the way that he portrayed that.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Oh, well, that leaves you, Derek. What do you think?
It does. Yeah, there's a lot of good moments in this episode. I liked a lot of the flashbacks, especially the one with him and Charlie, Hurley and Charlie. Also, at the ending, when yet another parachutist arrives.
Yeah, that's cool,
And then
isn't
the
it?
worst moment was when Claire and everyone from the tower team find out that Charlie's dead. That was just a tough scene.
Yeah, indeed. All right, guys. Shall we start the season 4 power rankings? Oh my God. Derek, what
Let's
do you
do
got
it.
for us?
My best is Hurley because he was just great in this episode throughout.
Nope, stop.
Oh, I
You already fucked up. That's one, folks. That's one. All right, start third and to first, please.
All right, my third best, and Chrissy's going to agree with me, is Ben. 'Cause I just
I
liked
do
all
not
those.
agree with you.
I know you didn't. I like Ben just because of all his comments. Even though he's tied up and has had his ass kicked, he's still being Ben Linus. So, my second best is Locke because he is right about the freighter and those people. And my best is Hurley because he was just great in this entire episode.
Yeah, for sure.
For worst, I didn't have a third worst. My second worst was Christian Shepherd. And my worst
You
was
see
actually
like his
surprising.
shadow and you're mad at him.
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right.
I could have put Randy Douchebag Nations, but
Yeah,
I didn't take care of him. And my worst is Jack,
Wow.
actually, which is kind of
Really?
surprising. Just because he's blindly thinking they're going to be rescued, and the fact that he was going to kill Locke. I mean, I know he's pissed at Locke, but I don't think it needs
Yeah.
murder.
Yeah, it was intense.
I'm going to fuck Claire just because you're going to hate me because she's single again.
Oh
And,
my God!
And
Oh,
Wow.
that's great.
Wow.
she's probably sad and needs a sympathy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm going to
yeah.
kill Christian Shepherd in the
All right.
rocking chair.
Wow. Okay. All right,
It was hard to
Christy.
kill someone actually this episode.
You know what? I have trouble like this episode, like the next few episodes with even finding bad characters because I'm just loving everybody
Yeah.
in the start of season 4. Yeah. Christy, go ahead.
So my third best is Danielle for the way she hits Ben Linus.
Fuck yeah.
My second best is Sawyer because he wanted to comfort Hurley and talk about Charlie.
Okay. Yeah.
It was really, really a sweet moment. So, and then my best is Hurley just for being his wonderful self.
Fuck yes.
On the bottom, I had a really hard time picking a worst character. So I only have one. It's Jack, and it's because he's thinking about growing a beard.
Oh my God. That's amazing. All right.
That damn beard.
Wow.
And then I am gonna fuck Hurley, and I'm gonna kill Jack's beard.
Jack's beard is getting killed over 2 seasons now.
I think at this point you're actually aborting Jack's beard, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's not,
It
it's not
hasn't
there
grown
yet.
yet.
Yeah, it hasn't
yeah,
grown yet.
absolutely.
Okay.
Murderer.
All right. So for me, my third best, I had Locke. I think he's doing the right thing. I'm afraid of the people on the freighter because I believe Charlie. So I'm with Locke there. Second best, I have Benjamin Linus because the lines, the quips, the everything, it's so good. And I also have Hurley as my number 1. He's coming out strong, starting season 4. I have literally no one in my worst. I really just had trouble with it. My fuck, it is going to be my first threesome of the season. I will be
Surprise.
Shocker.
So I will be fucking Benjamin Linus while Danielle punches him in the face.
Oh, a little fucking and punching. Cool.
Exactly. And I'm going to kill Minkowski because I don't like his voice. I have a reaction to his voice the same way I have to Paolo hitting golf balls. So I hate him. And that's that. Ben, why don't you give us yours and then let us know what the rankings look like for the start of season 4.
I will.
All right,
my top 3, I've got third place, Ben Linus, formidable even at bay.
Yes.
He is always on top of it, even when he's just cracking wise. It's pretty awesome. I actually have Jack in second place. I understand why folks did not like him, but the fact is, like, he had seen Locke so many times already destroy their ability to get off the island, and he was fucking done with it. And he actually pulled the trigger, and I was like, man, I'm glad he didn't actually execute Locke. That would have sucked. But the fact that they did it that way without it not being loaded, that was pretty choice.
Yeah. Okay.
And then Hurley on top, obviously, he's doing the hard work. He went and he's like, I'm going to go tell her that Charlie's dead. He grabbed the walkie-talkie from Sawyer. He threw it into the ocean. He's large and in charge. Like, he's getting stuff done, and he's
the mayor of Islandtown.
That's right.
The bottom, I have no shortage of hatred, so I could fill the bottom with characters. First, my third is going to be Rose because she just
okay.
Just the residue of all of her bullshit from last season even gets to me.
That's
Second,
valid.
Naomi. And then in first place,
her,
even though I love the character, Matthew Abaddon, because he terrifies the shit out of me.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
I also am going to fuck Claire, and this is funny because what I wrote next was because there's no more Charlie.
Oh my God. Both of you
we're jackals. We are fucking jackals.
You're swoopers. You're swoopers. That's what you are. You swoop on in and you pick up the pieces.
Swoop me.
There's a first Arrested Development reference of the season.
and I'm going to kill Naomi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since the knife didn't do it itself, and
or the
her blood
tree,
volume.
or her jumping out of the tree. None of that killed her.
All right, Ben. Who's worse? Who's best?
Here we
After
go.
one episode.
After the first episode, how about I'm going to do this? I'm going to do the bottom first, so we can end with right. In third place, we have Matthew Abaddon and his terrifying countenance.
Whoa.
Tied for second last, we've got Christian Shepherd and Naomi.
All right.
And last place, Jack with
Holy
negative
fuck.
7 points.
Whoa.
That's how
Wow.
he started. That's how he started season 3 too. Wow, Jack.
Yeah.
All right.
We have and here's a rarity in the top 3. We've got Claire in third place. She doesn't often make it, but it looks like our swooping got her into third place,
right.
at least for this
Fucked her into
season.
second place. All right.
He swooped her into third. All right.
Swooped her into third.
God.
That's right.
We've got the great Ben Linus in second place with 8 points.
What
And
the
Hurley.
fuck?
Hurley cannonballing out front with 23 points.
Wow. So the top 3 are 23, 8, and 6. So Hurley is like fucking killing it right now. God damn.
Yeah, buddy.
Go ahead, Hurley.
Yeah.
Oh, this is exciting. All right. The first power rankings of the season are complete. Guys, this is it. Final impressions. Christy, what do you think?
I'm blown away by this season opener. I absolutely loved it. The whole thing with the two factions now. And even though I know who this is who has parachuted in, I remember the first time I saw it going, oh my God, who the fuck is this guy?
New blood.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm
Get clear before he does.
Uh-oh.
Right.
I'm really excited about season 4. I know it's pretty short, but I'm still super, super stoked for it. So,
yeah. All right. Benjamin, what'd you think?
Great episode. I thought the flash forwards, we talked about some of the previous episodes in season 3 where there were so many flashbacks or so many flash forwards. I feel like this one, there were 4 flash forwards and the pacing was really, really good throughout. Like there was very little downtime in this episode. Almost every second was kind of important. The fact that Locke shows back up the way that he does, the whole kind of Locke and Jack sort of squaring off that ends up splitting the group. Hugo stepping up huge. Ben cracking wise through the entire thing. This episode basically fired on all cylinders, and I thought it was a really, really awesome entrance to this season.
Yeah, it's a hell of an opener. If there's something the show does well, it's the openings and the closings. It's just like, damn. For me, like strong opening to season 4. I fucking love it. Who are the Oceanic Six? Who is on the freighter? Who the fuck just landed on the island? Oh my God. The writing, the dialogue, the characters are all strong. All of it. It's just like gets me so excited for the rest of season 4. All right. Derek, what did you think of season 4, episode 1, the beginning of the end? And what kind of questions are you coming out of this episode with?
Oh, I thought it was a really great episode, really strong, fast paced. Yeah, there's no time. And I was like, oh, this is boring. We found out that Ben and Locke were probably right about the freighter. There's a little suspicious going on there. In the flash forwards, we see Charlie telling Hurley that apparently the remaining survivors need them, but for what, we don't know. And when Hurley tells Jack, kind of contrary to his previous flash forwards, Jack says, we're not going back. And on the island, they do split into 2 factions, ones that are going to be rescued and the others are going to the barracks. Some of my biggest questions, because I have a lot, are, who's this latest parachutist? What the hell is Christian Shepherd doing in the cabin? Whose eye is that? Whew. And, why do they have to go back?
Wow. Guess what? Every single one of those questions is going to be answered. Few of them in this season. So get ready. Season 4 is coming. I'm super excited about all of it. Next week, guys, we have got season 2 episode.
What? What?
Next week, guys, we have got a season 4, episode 2. It's called Confirmed Dead. It's a Faraday, Charlotte, Miles, and Lapidus episode. It's a Christie episode. We get four new characters: the head case, the Ghostbuster, the anthropologist, and the drunk. Sounds a little bit like the Breakfast Club. We'll see you next week. All right. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Lost in My 40s is a Spacebear media production. Executive produced and edited by me, Lacey J. Sound engineering, editing, and original music by Benjamin Trimp. Like and follow Lost in My 40s on Facebook and Spacebear_media on Instagram and Threads. Plus, follow Spacebear Media on YouTube for extra video content. Or for everything in one place, go to spacebearmedia.com.